This Lego Marvel set is £55. It is Galactus versus the Fantastic Four. It looks like this. Comes with 4 Fantastic Four minifigures. It has 427 pieces. And it's £55. Oh my gosh. Now, we made a video about these 4 characters and my opinions on the Thing minifigure. But buying this today on June the 1st, we actually saw it in person. And the size of the overall set was a bit disappointing. But my beautiful girlfriend treated me to it, so I can't complain. But on her benefit and for her sake, yes, it was a bit expensive. And 427 pieces doesn't slice the biscuit. But that's not where the problem set of Fantastic Four ends. The Thing being too small is one thing, the price of the set being another, the piece count being abysmal, the fact that this is a £55 set targeted for 9-year-olds is ridiculous, unless you're targeting Warren Buffett's child. I don't know who this kid is who's got £55 to spend on any of this. But the problems don't stop there. Let's address the minifigures in person. Also, I would just love to shout out when I made a 15-minute video talking about the fixing Fantastic Four mistake issue thing. You guys went and watched it in the thousands. So, basically, thank you for giving me your time to go and watch my video. You got it to 1,567 views, which is very nice of you. Thank you very much. But we're going to fix the minifigures here today. Let's go through them right now. The 4 official minifigures as they stand look like this. These are their accessories that we get. It's very basic, it's very minimum, but we're gonna make them better. Over here is a bunch of items that I ordered off Vinted. This one was actually a Force Ghost of Star Wars, and I had to scratch off the torso and face printing, but I've done a pretty decent job with it. This is the female version of the Silver Surfer who features in the Fantastic Four trailers. This is a minifigure scale of Galactus, which is pretty cool. He's got those big long avatar legs, and I think he looks pretty menacing, pretty awesome with that awesome helmet. Then a big fire effect ring here. This was actually for Cassandra Nova from Deadpool and Wolverine, but it works, I think, really well with Johnny. Also, this really cool mold of a fist on fire, which works really well for him too. And this smaller version, I think this is an official Lego piece as well. But yeah, this all came in a custom Vinted order, as well as these translucent orange hands, this weird sort of boiler suit effect with the flame printing on the hands as well. And then obviously his head and his hairpiece being orange and fiery as well. But we're going to do some basic upgrades, and we're going to basically add these to these. I'm going to do some mixing and some matching, and hopefully you guys can kind of see where I'm just going with it, and hopefully you guys can understand the upgrades we've made. Let's do the upgrades. So first of all, to upgrade Ben Grimm the Thing, I had to do an illegal building technique. There was no other way of doing this. These minifigure arms are actually from an official minifigure, this character, from the Toy Story 3 set, Lotso's dump truck. You get Lotso, you get the cab driver, you get this big dump truck, this squid looking thing, and this little character here from Toy Story 3, he had like a changing face. But basically, I have double sticky taped over some arms from that character and put them on the minifigure torso. I'm then going to add these custom little boots that I made out of a square blue tile, white, yellow middle tile, and then a white stud, blue stud, basically blue square tile, to turn them into sort of improvised lifts for his boots. And I know they're not a perfect colour match, but I'm trying my best here. Upon inspection, that looks ridiculous, so I'm going to just take them off. Now that's him done. He looks a little bit more imposing, a little bit wider shouldered, and yeah, basically he was just swapping out his old arms for the arms from that minifigure. Now we're going to move on to Sue, the Invisible Woman. Now at the start of the video, as you could see, I had a fully transparent minifigure in blue, which obviously I know the hair's different, but you can just swap the hair over. So there's 3 different ways you could display this. You could have her fully invisible using that full transparent minifigure, or you could do what I've done here, which is kind of half and half them. And under some really cool lighting, you can actually see the effects of this. It looks really awesome. I then also noticed in the trailer that her powers incorporated, obviously, transparency with her being invisible. But there were also little hints of blue light. So I just used some leftover translucent blue studs and glass studs together just to create that force field effect a little bit better. And this is what she looks like with that. She looks pretty cool there with the new force field effects going on. And yeah, looks a really nice way of displaying it. She's got a transparent arm, transparent legs. It's really cool. And I like how there's options. You've got different ways of experimenting with this minifigure. Next up, we're going to take this standard Johnny, and we're going to combine elements of him with this vintage custom version of Johnny, as well as some of the fire elements, and I'll show you what the end result looks like. So out of all of them, Johnny's probably the most easy to customize because you've got this custom modded thing of this transparent fire punch he's got going on, plus he's now got the translucent red fire hands. Then he's got this translucent red fire hand with this massive orange fire fist mold going on. Then with this piece that actually comes in the official set, 2 normal pieces of fire on this cool foot mount, but it can also go into the holes at the back of his legs as well, so he can have fire coming out when he's standing. Then I can display him in this awesome fire ring with the awesome fire effects as well that you could just use naturally as fists. So he's probably got the most custom options that you can roll with, which I think suits him the best. But if I add his final upgrade, he can get this orange face. Obviously, there'll be translucent versions of this, which might work better. But you can get that, and you can add this awesome piece of fire hair too. Or you could also just leave his flesh tone face on and put this fire hair on too, but we haven't really seen him use his powers yet, and he can kind of turn his whole body into a human torch, so we can do a lot of different things with Johnny. He's probably my favourite to customise and pose. So there he is, all flamed up, looking awesome with this cool little parts and pieces display. I've even put the fire on the back of his legs as well. So yeah, just an awesome looking minifigure, and our Fantastic Four are coming together very, very well. But now it's last of all. It's Mr. Fantastic. And I'm not going to use him using his powers. I'm going to show you something else with him, and it's to do with his hair. So this version of Doctor Strange had this little like salt and pepper effect going on the side of the hair. And even though Reed's hair is not the same, it's similar. But you can modify this pretty easily, and I'll show you how. Get yourself a white Poshka paint pen, and literally just do a little bit of salt and pepper to it. Like, I've added a little bit at the top, I've added it on the sides. It'll dry and it'll go a lot less intense, but the effect is created. He's an older gentleman, and he's supposed to not have this matte black seamless hair. He does have the salt and pepper effects going on. Also the beard, but I didn't trust to do it on the face, so I don't want to lose his beard. But yeah, I add him to his ensemble. And now it's looking pretty damn decent. I'm actually going to put him on that side. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. So let's drum roll for the final reveal of all of my Fantastic Four minifigures. Ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. The Fantastic Four LEGO official minifigures, upgraded. Mostly with official LEGO parts, apart from a few of the custom translucent pieces, but very much achievable. This is how I'm going to display mine. Let me know how you display yours. I'm very excited to hear your feedback down below. But yeah, absolutely love these guys, and I love how I've customized them all. And also with that addition of a evil Galactus minifigure to go with that big build, and the absolute dreamboat that is the female Silver Surfer, we've got a pretty cool looking Fantastic Four lineup to look forward to for the summer. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. Peace.